Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing tips for Saturday the 14th of June. Well, let's have a quick look at me. Yeah, looking good. Anyway, let's get into it. So, I'm outside. Well, as you can see I'm outside. So, I want to hope this video doesn't go black. I'm going to speak nice and slow so you can hear the horses. I'm going to leave it on one screen, although I've just flicked to another screen already, which was this original screen recorder, but I want to give you 8 selections, and I'm having a Goliath, a 5 pence each way Goliath. You might think it's a bonkers bet, it probably is, but I do really like the look of these. I'm not prepared to mix them up and put them in smaller bets. I'm going for jugular. Going for jugular, kid. So 8 selections, 5 pence each way Goliath. So let's get straight into it. So two things. Oh, I've got camera on. I can't wipe my nose on my sleeve. We're eight, aren't we? So two things I want to mention. Obviously, the Easterby's, they lost their, I don't know what relative, so I'm not going to pretend I do. Is it Peter Easterby? So whenever these events happen, it always seems to, for me, it always seems to happen where it's now Saturday, big days racing, big Northern days racing, York. I just think that you're going to see a lot of the Easterby family on ITV racing. So you're going to see Joanna Mason. I don't know what relative she is, but I think it's his granddaughter, something like that. You've got, is it Richard Foy? I think he married at Easterby. You've got Serena Brotherton, who's a fast approaching 110 years old. She's ridden for the Easterbys for years. I just think there's so many Easterbys tomorrow that have got good chances. So it wouldn't surprise me. So if I wouldn't put anybody off any of the Easterby horses. I can just see them all getting interviewed tomorrow. What a great way to send off Peter Easterby by having a six-timer, or Joanna Mason getting a double up, or Mick Easterby. I think it was his brother having a good day at York, or Tim Easterby. I'm not sure what relative would it be. Something like nephew. I don't know. Dad. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. No point me keep saying I don't know. So let me get into it. So, as I said, it was a 5 pence each way Goliath. The selections are Sandown, York, and Chester, I believe. So the first selection is Diligent Resdev in the 150 at York. And for the new subscribers or the disgruntled subscribers, it was, I believe, 2 years ago or a year ago that this horse, Diligent Resdev, won for the channel at 40 to 1. I think it won by a nose at York. Well, I fancy the horse again. I think it's got every chance. It's a previous winner at York. I'm not going to go too much into it because I'm not changing the page, so I can't remember everything that I read about it, but I like the look of it. It's an Easterby horse. I think it's ridden by Joanna Mason as well, and I think it's got a good chance. What pigeons? A pigeon heading towards Chicken Coop. Anyway, I think it's about 12s or 14s. The second selection is Saratoga Gold in the 225 at York. This horse is 7 years old now, and I fancied it for, I think it was this race 2 years ago. It's now trained by Kevin Frost. Hold on. Come on. It's now trained by this beats Flat Cat Callum's kitchen wall, doesn't it? I don't even know what you can see, by the way. Yeah. Anyway, Saratoga Gold is the next one. It unseated a rider in a race 2 years ago, I believe, at this meeting. It's dropped massively. I think it's something like £16 lower than when it actually, I couldn't say he ran in this race because he unseated a rider straight out the stalls. But I think it's very well weighted. It's trained by Kevin Frost, ridden by, I think it's his daughter, Lauren Frost. She's not the best rider in the race. There is some interesting riders. There's Miss J Townsend. Sorry, Townend. So she's an interesting jockey that's come from. I can never remember his name. Is it Philip Townend? Anyway, Willie Mullins' main man. I think it's his missus. She's did quite a decent jockey actually, so that might end up shortening price. But Saratoga Gold with Lauren Frost on board, I think it's got a good chance, and I think it's 18-1. I've clicked SP on all of these. I should have just left the price because I haven't put the bet on yet. The next selection, the third one, is a very interesting one. It's called Bridget's Cloak. It's come from Ireland. It's Johnny Murter, Nick Bradley Racing Syndicate in the 335 at York. Well, it looks like at York. I haven't seen a single race, but I've clicked on some of the results. It looks like it's favouring high numbers, this near side rail on the street course. Who knows what it could favour tomorrow, because if they notice that there's too much of a bias, they'll probably put some water on overnight and even it out, or try and even it out. But I'm happy to stick. I'm happy to stick with the draw bias, and there's a number of horses drawn high in that race. And I can't click on it because my screen might go black. But there's Bridget's Cloak. There's is it Tullamullus? It's not Tullamulla. Tulla Salamanca. That's got a high draw. The favourite's got a high draw. There's a lot of fancied horses with high draws. I just think this horse is quite progressive. It's gone up a lot in the weights, but I believe it'll go straight to the front. It'll set a good pace down this near side, and it'll be hard to pass, I think. There is one in the race that is it's going to haunt me because Jack Shannon has got a runner in the race. I just can't quite have it. So you know what's going to happen. Jack Shannon's probably going to either pip this one for a place or win the race. But I'm sticking with Bridget's Cloak, trained by Johnny Murter. The next selection is Telered in the 445 at York. Been much higher rated in the past. It's fine on quick ground, likes York, and I just think it's better than I think it's better than its handicap mark. That's all I'm going to say about that one. The next selection is Spirit of Applause. It's drawn high, and that's in the 520 at York. It's an Easterby horse. I believe that it'll come down this near side, and it'll be hard to kick out the first whatever it is. I think it's first 4 or 5 in the race. The next selection is it's now an extremely well, in my opinion, it's a well handicapped horse. Mr. Professor in the 5 past 2 at Sandown ran okay last time. Doesn't run that often, but I just think that I think some half decent prize money. I think it's drawn something like 8. I'm not sure. It doesn't really matter. I just think it can run a much better race, and I think it's running into a little bit of form. I think it won the Lincoln, not last year. Sorry, not this year. The year before, and it didn't run very well in it this year. I think it's currently good ground at Sandown. You wouldn't really want it to get any quicker. Could do, but they might withdraw it if it gets too quick. The next selection is Grey Cuban in the 245 at Chester. Well, I tipped this horse, and I don't know if the video actually didn't load that day when I was banned, or if it just ran poorly, and I did give it as a tip. But it ran too bad to be true. But it ran behind another horse in this race. I think it's can't remember what it's called now. It's the Michael Bell horse. It ran behind that like a well beaten, but it's a much shorter price on Saturday than the Michael Bell horse, which is a bit odd. I don't know. One of the more interesting selections is Red Derrick. It'll probably come nowhere, but it's 28-1. It's in the 5 past 5 at Chester, and it loves atrocious ground. It's currently good at Chester, and there is plenty of rain forecast, but it's scattered around Chester, so they could either get all of it, none of it, some of it, but I'm expecting it to be worse than good. The fact that it's good now, I would suggest that either they've watered and it doesn't take much to change the ground, or, well, it's not rained there recently, has it? It couldn't have done. Anyway, might be wrong, but there's some rain on its way to the west side. So I just think that Red Derrick, it normally races prominently. So if it goes to the front, it could be difficult to pass, or it could go to the front and get passed by everything. But I just think being the rank outsider of the lot, I think it's something like 9 years old now, so it's not really progressive. But it makes you wonder why they've kept it in training. All its best form is on soft ground. It ran at no, it didn't. It ran at Chepstow last time, and I think obviously it's a very different course to Chester. So I'm thinking that Chepstow, it was a, it was to get it fit. The undulations, the soft ground. I know it'd get me blowing, so I'm pretty sure it would do this horse that hasn't run for quite a while. So I think Red Derrick, if he goes to the front, gets an easy lead, could be difficult to pass. Probably won't win. Probably won't come in the first four. But I just think it's too big a price to ignore. No, not two things. I've mentioned one. Right. Secondly, listen to this, and this is where you think I'm bonkers. So there's been this plane crash recently in India. Tragedy. Yeah, I'm sorry for everybody that's lost relatives and all that kind of thing, and the people that's died. But one thing that I just happened to notice is there's one survivor. That one survivor looked like he'd like to just joined in once it hit the ground. It's like they were walking down the street. I don't know if they're taking the mickey. I've got no idea. But unfortunately, you've got a lot of people that's lost their lives. Everything looks incinerated. Then you've got this guy walking down the middle of the street, like he's just been rolling in a ditch. I'm like, few red flags for me, that is. I'm like, don't know, I'm not denying it happened, but I, I can't see how that bloke's walked out a plane crash. I know it didn't fall from 20,000 feet, but what happened? What about the person sat next to him? How come that person's not survived? Yeah, literally probably an elbow away from him. I know it doesn't mean just because they sat near him, it means they're going to survive, but I'm just seeing red flags there with that survive. I'm not saying the plane crash didn't happen. I'm just saying, like, was that guy really sat on a seat? And then it says, it tells you what he did. Apparently, he kicked open the door or something. All right, okay then. Because not only did he sit in the right seat, he had a door next to him. I don't know. Anyway, keep them peeled. If you've got any questions, leave your questions below. I'll answer them. So, I wish the very best of luck. If this video doesn't get banned for conspiracy theories, anyway, I might see you in a month's time, depending if YouTube's algorithm picks this up. Anyway, I wish you the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.